Here I would like to explain the Trinity of life. So basically we have three parts. We have one part here, which I call source. You can call it God, you can call it, there are many different ways, the divine or intelligence, and then we have consciousness. And then we have the reality. Where we do all our experiences. So source energy is split into infinite rays. Every ray is a higher self. So one ray is me, one ray is you, another ray is a cat, a third ray is an atom, and a fourth is a cell or a molecule or a tree. So source, which is oneness, through consciousness, which is also the creative force, we can call it the creative force. Because the term, what we will experience in the reality, is determined of what we have in our consciousness. Some say what we have in our mind, but I would like to make it bigger and call it consciousness. And this is a bit like you have a film projector here, you have the film of all the frames that goes here, and this is the screen. Reality is the mirror of the consciousness, and source is what is everything, and source is the point of stillness, that is the reference point of everything that happens in reality. In reality we have an infinite variation of energies that meet each other, while source is never changing. Reality is in constant motion. And what we have in our consciousness determines our reality. So when the energy comes from source, now everything is not divided by time or anything. Time is just a way to construct a reality. But let's say that energy comes from source, it goes through consciousness. Depending on what we have in our consciousness is what will create our reality and what we will experience in life. This life experience will be here. Let's say that something terrible happens in our life. And then the energy goes back through our consciousness, and when we perceive, our way of perceiving life is what creates what we will experience the next round. So let's say something terrible happens, someone, let's say it's an old war, and someone, or like, now let's pretend like we are part of the mafia, and one of our members in the mafia gets killed, and we get furious, just reacting. So next time we will kill someone in the other gang of the mafia, and so on. It goes on and on. But let's say that something happens here and we don't react on it, but we change our perspective, and we see the meaningless of this killing, and we finally don't react with doing the same things. We don't repeat the cycle anymore. We change something of forgiveness or understanding that we are as bad as they are. Something happens here. Then the structure in the consciousness changes. So when it comes to next round, we will have another reality, and we will stop the war, to make a very dramatic example. But it is when something happens in our life, we get very emotional. If we can have a perspective on this strong emotion that comes up, maybe because we also can feel that we are connected with source and there is something bigger going on, then the structure here will change, and then we will have something else happening in our life. So this is my way of presenting the Trinity in life: source, consciousness or the creative force, and what we experience, life. And this is always changing. This is always stillness.